Welcome back to another FragPunk video, ladies and gentlemen. We are ranking all 73 shard cards that were in the FragPunk playtest. Hopefully we get a beta soon because the game felt finished to me and you guys all saw my main video. You guys told me in the comments it also looked pretty finished. Yeah, it felt ready to release. The final day I played for 10 hours straight and each match is like 10 to 12 minutes long. So I was just queuing up just over and over with my sister. We played so much of the playtest. So I have a pretty good idea of what the best shard cards in the game are, but if you disagree, let me know down in the comments. Also, just want to say thank you guys so much for all the love and support on my first FragPunk video. At first, like the whole first day, it got like 400 views, so I thought it wasn't gonna do too good. Now it's at over 20,000, maybe even 30,000 now. I don't know. I haven't looked at it. But lots of comments, lots of people seem to really enjoy it and like my breakdown of the game. So yeah, let me know if you guys want to see more stuff like this. I can rank all the characters as well. There's 10 currently in the game that we know about that I've played. Rank all the relics, the guns, I don't know. Let me know if you want to see more videos like this though. One last thing, shout out to the person that actually put this list together, DNOS on Twitter. I was about to put a list together like this and take screenshots of every single shard card, but then I looked it up and this was already made, so shout out to this guy. Also, I'm adding a row here. We're gonna have an F row, might as well. There might be 1 or 2 F tier shard cards in the game, so let's hop into the list. All right, I'm gonna be choosing not in any particular order, just gonna be picking at complete random. So let's start with this one, Roger. This one was pretty good. I wouldn't say it's S tier, but it is very cheap. It's only 3 shard points. This one basically allows for 2 extra combat bots to be on your team. The enemy team might think that one of your actual teammates is running down an alley or something. They might hear that and rotate. You can use them to peek off of them. They're not usually going to get kills. They don't do a lot of damage, or I never really saw a combat bot actually get a kill. The enemy has to waste extra bullets on them. You can peek off of them once the combat bots spot people or once the enemies spot the combat bots. They were pretty good, and you might as well just have 2 extra teammates on your team most of the time. I actually don't know if all your teammates die and like the last 2 people trade with each other, if a combat bot can like defuse the bomb or whatever. But if they can, that makes them even better than I think they are. But yeah, this was one that was just, it's cheap enough to where you just get it every single time basically. There's no point of not having 2 extra teammates. And who knows if they're going to expand on the AI in the future and make their mechanics even better. So yeah, I'm going to say this one's A tier. If it costs more than 3 points, probably wouldn't be. Medical Error. This one is actually pretty situational because, well, first off, it costs 4 points. Its effect is it makes it so the enemy team can't heal. So if they're using Pathogen a lot, she's the character that can put down healing puddles for your team. This can completely deny one of her abilities. Also, since you can see the enemy shard cards at the bottom when you're picking, if they have any like vampire bullets that give lifesteal to them, or any shard cards that allow you to heal, you can sneak this in there and just cancel out their shard cards completely. So it's really situational. If you see those shard cards, you'd probably vote on it. If not, it just depends on how many shard points your team has. But yeah, this wasn't one that was always voted on. It's just sometimes most of the time when you fight someone in a game like this, you just headshot and they're dead. Especially since there's so many shard cards in the game that makes your team do extra damage. You might not even give the opponents an opportunity to heal because you're just gonna one-shot them anyways. So I'm gonna say this one is B tier. Relocation. This was one of my favorite ones on the defender side. I'm gonna say it's S tier for sure. This allows you to go up to the sites and relocate them. You can pick up A site, B site, whatever, and I just hit my mic, but whatever, and bring it to wherever you want. Most of the time you'd bring it back to your spawn and you just defend your spawn, but you could always bring A site to B site. You can stack them on top of each other and just lock the doors and have a really big defense on one site, just like the site deletion shard card, which deletes one of the sites. But yeah, this one was really fun every time we had it, just because you get to bring it back to your spawn and just set up an ultimate defense back there, and all the enemies would have to push into your spawn. Really map dependent on if you have a good spawn location to defend, but again, you don't need to defend your spawn. You could place the sites wherever you want. Even mid-match, you can pick up the site if enemies are around it and go move it somewhere else. Very fun one, and one of my favorites in the game, actually. Headshot Master. This one gave an extra 25% damage on headshots per shard card or per shard point that's put into it. up to 5 maximum, which is 125% extra headshot damage. Every time this one would pop up, people would buy it. It's one of the best in the entire game, allowing for almost, I think if all shard points are put into it, every gun in the game is a one-shot headshot, potentially. Maybe not the starter pistol. Yeah, you really only need a few points into this to make most weapons one-shot headshots. And yeah, this is the best like damage modifying one in the game in most people's opinion, and it's only a blue. Not even a legendary, so it does pop up a lot. But yeah, this is a shard card that basically, if it ever pops up, your team is investing points into it. It was never ever re-rolled by anyone. Even if they had the free re-roll relic, no one would do that. You'd always invest points into this because it's so good. Think of games like Valorant and CS where headshots are everything. This just made them even better. And allowed you for a turn to just like not buy the assault rifles, buy an SMG or something, an LMG, and you'll be just as fine because you'll one-shot them anyways. Dragon's Breath. This was an F tier one for sure. 4 points, you had to invest into it. Shotguns would do fire damage, but the fire damage wasn't very strong. And most of the time when I had this, I felt like the shotgun was weaker. I don't know if it actually like degrades the damage of the shotgun, but it really felt like it weakened the shotguns. It might have been a bug. There weren't many bugs in this game, luckily. Somehow, I don't know how they did that. But yeah, there was like almost no bugs. The connection, the tick rate, everything was flawless. It was so much fun. But yeah, this made the shotguns feel terrible. Maybe it was because of the muzzle flash that it adds to the shotguns, because it's just a bunch of fire spreading out. But yeah, even if the fire landed on you, it wouldn't tick for that much damage. You'd think it would tick for more, but they definitely need to buff this one. This was one of the worst in the entire game. And I've used this with the extra pellets on the shotgun, with shotgun buffing ones, and it still felt bad. So yeah, not a fan of Dragon's Breath, but it's such a sick idea that I hope it gets super buffed in the future, because this would just make your team buy shotguns and then you'd lose. All right, self-replenish. This one was pretty good. Depends on which character you pick, but luckily you pick shard cards before you pick your character, which I don't know if that should be swapped in the future or not, just to make it a little scarier picking shard cards, especially since you can like see that medical error is in play before you pick pathogen and cancel out an ability. I don't know. I wonder if picking characters should be something that you do first. But yeah, you'd get skill replenish, and then you'd pick a character that has like super insane skills or abilities, and yeah, this one would replenish your skills over time. Only 4-point investment. I think it's an S tier one. Wasn't skipped over much. On a character that like pathogen with the heal, you could just keep on throwing heals out for your team. It regenerates very quickly. Having an infinite amount of chug chugs as nitro, which is the tank that you can drive around. Chug chug is the tank, nitro is the character. That was pretty good. You could just keep on sending out tanks, keep on placing turrets. They delete after there's 3 or 4 on the map, I think. I think it's 3. Keep sites very locked down with all your abilities. Think of any of the abilities you saw in the game and think of a team having an infinite amount of them. That's what this did. It was really good most of the time that I got it. Infinite amounts of little traps that you can place on sites. This one kind of made the team pretty unstoppable, mostly on defense, I feel like. It was just a really fun one to have because you got to use your abilities a ton. Big Head. Big Head was one that actually popped up a lot. It was one of the most common legendaries that I saw almost in every single match, but it was also an S tier one for sure. Just like Headshot Master, just made headshots easier to hit. And then if you combine both of these, Headshot Master plus Big Head, you were winning. There was like no losing in that situation. Also, this just kind of like changes the cover of the maps because big heads will be popping out over cover. People will think they're safe behind a little barricade. They're not. They got a giant head. You can also emote with your big heads, which was really funny. Don't know if I can play a clip on screen or not. But yeah, this was a really creative one that just was inspired by GoldenEye, which I used to play on my Nintendo. Made the game a lot easier, so really like this one. Clone Tech. This is a weird one. It's a legendary, right? But it was almost never picked. It's only 3 shard points to activate it, which is nice, but it just wasn't used much because you don't really have a need to play multiple of the same character. But when it was played, it was a ton of fun, and every time it was played for me, it was on defense, and we would all play nitro, so every person would be able to have 2 turrets up, and the sites would just be super locked down with 5 people, 2 turrets each, 10 turrets on the sites. If If you have site deletion or relocation and you relocate all the sites together, or there's only one site and you play 5 nitros with 10 turrets on the site, it gets pretty hectic and you kind of just guarantee yourself a win. So this one's weird because it wasn't picked much. It's very cheap, so it could be good. If you have a lot of coordination and teamwork, I think it's going to be better in a competitive setting where you have a lot of coordination with your team to all pick one character or 2 different types of characters. Maybe you're all pathogen and you're all healing off each other. You could all be hollow point with the op that she has, the sniper, and super defend a site, or, you know, I'm thinking in terms of defense right now because I feel like having a lot of characters that have mines and defensive abilities all locking down sites is even better than having all of a certain character on attack. But yeah, I think this one's just going to get better over time once people get more comfortable with the characters. I'm going to say it is A tier for now, even though I didn't see it much. And there were multiple scenarios where I saw the enemies pick this, but then they would all play the same character anyways. They just like picked it just because. So yeah, it's definitely just a casual, non-communicative thing that's happening right now with clone tech. But it has potential to be really good because obviously this game is balanced to not have all the characters on one team. So once you imbalance it like that, it can be pretty crazy. Quick defuse, man, this is annoying. I might have a clip of this. We were defending a site so well, and we were sure they had no time. There was like 3 seconds left. They had no time to defuse it. But if I delayed them for 0.5 extra seconds, I could have stopped them, but I didn't know they had quick defuse. And this diffuses it very fast. It diffuses the bomb so fast. I mean, 50% shorter. So yeah, they got it absolute last millisecond. If they didn't have this, they would have lost. I've seen it work a few times in other scenarios. This is pretty good. I mean, it's just like buying a defuse kit in CS. 50% easier to defuse the bomb. Again, situational because you don't even know if during that round they're gonna plant the bomb, but it's nice to have. Not one of the best, but it is pretty cheap. I'm gonna say situational again, B tier. Like I see it pop up and I'm like, do we pick it? Are they even gonna plant? They haven't planted all these rounds, but it's like, but you know, it's like you could get in that situation where it's like, it comes between the timer and the defuse kit. Having this could make or break the win for you. You never know going into a round. At least it's easy to invest 2 points into it. Frozen Wasteland. This one, I'm gonna say it was F tier. It's cool. It is cool. Only 2 points and the entire map turns into a snowy environment, which is super sick. Everyone can slide though. It's like it benefits the enemy and you. You don't even know if your team is really gonna use the sliding. Whenever this popped up, I didn't use it that much. There's also a character in the game that could already slide, Axon. So this one kind of just benefited the enemy more. If it instead allowed your team to slide and it made the movement for the enemy slippery, but then you had to put a lot more points into it, like 5 points, make it a legendary or something, that would make more sense. But since it gives the same effect to the enemy and you don't even know if the sliding is really going to come in handy, this one didn't do much except make the environment look cool. Let's do another F tier one. What is this one even called? I can't even read it. Full firepower. Yeah, full firepower. This one was maybe one of the worst in the game. Like, yeah, it didn't do much. Even when we would have it, I'd rather just use an assault rifle most of the time. The LMGs weren't that strong. This just makes it so that all your ammo is loaded into one mag, but the mags are so huge anyways in LMGs, like hundreds of bullets, I feel like, that you don't really need this. Sure, you don't ever have to reload, and LMGs are known for having long reload times, but you never really had to reload that much with an LMG in the first place. So this one was pretty useless. It was always re-rolled, and I've only seen it used like maybe once or twice. Most people just got the shard card, and then one person on the team bought an LMG or something, and even then it didn't pay off. I'd say I'd rather even have Dragon's Breath over this, because at least you're blinding the enemy with all your fire that you're shooting at your shotgun. Really, the only situation I can see full firepower coming in handy is if the enemy has the zombie card, which allows them to turn into zombies once they die. Because then, I mean, you don't have to reload. You won't have a zombie rushing towards you after you kill someone and try to reload. So you could just keep on shooting and just kill the zombie right as it spawns. But that's like so situational. I don't even know if that would even be good, because then your team is just buying LMGs and you're probably going to lose. Speaking of the zombie one though, Bio Warrior. This is Death Rattle card. Once you die, you become a zombie. This was S tier. If you haven't seen my YouTube short, go watch my FragPunk highlights on there. It's on the same channel, GGLounge. I died as Zephyr, became a zombie, and got a triple kill, and then defused the bomb as the zombie. So it's pretty good. It was pretty good. A lot of people would say don't pick it, and they would re-roll it and stuff. I don't know why. You get an extra life. There's only like 2 cards in the game that give you an extra life, and this one was really good a lot of the time. You're a fast zombie. You do 30 damage per hit, which isn't much, but you could still get around and destroy people. Again, my clip. I got a triple kill, defused the bomb. Didn't even know the zombies could defuse the bomb, but I clutched it up for my team. Yeah, every time this would pop up, I would just get it. I'd say it's better than even relocation. Relocation can be canceled out by like the plant anywhere one. Zombies can't really be canceled out. You get a second life, your whole team. So yeah, a lot of time I won because of this one. Some of the most annoying times in this game was killing someone or killing like 3 people and then just 3 zombies come after you while you're reloading. It was pretty annoying. So this one is really good. Would recommend. But I do think there's a lot of hate for it for some reason. People don't want an extra chance, I guess. I don't know. Driving Rain. This one, I'd say it was picked a lot just because it's cheap. It's 2 points. It's helpful on some maps. It really changes up the map. I think it makes the game look beautiful. The rain effects, I really like it. The flood effects are kind of whack, but I'd say it's a B tier one. I mean, some parts of the map, it depends on the map as well, but some parts flood you towards the enemy, some parts flood you back away so that it's hard to push up on sites or easy to be a defender and go down a waterfall very slow, or go down a flooded lane and just like be completely silent as you go there. A little map dependent if you want to pick this one or not, but yeah, not terrible. It can definitely help close off a lane. Like you won't have to watch mid because you know it's flooded. You know, people probably won't push up it, but I liked pushing up the water sometimes. It's dangerous, but it's like no one's guarding it. They're just letting the water flow. So I don't know. Very weird one. Changes up the map a lot, but you know, I couldn't really tell how good it was, how beneficial. So I'm just gonna say B tier. This was a fun one. Almost never actually worked out for the attackers, but freestyle placement. This one you had to invest a lot of points into, allowed you to place the bomb anywhere on the map. You don't have to go to the sites. It had an extra 40 seconds on the timer, so the bomb would take a long time to detonate. It usually wouldn't ever go off in the match because it's such a long timer. But yeah, you could place it right at your spawn as soon as the round starts. The thing is with freestyle placement is that the enemy team can see the shard card. So I feel like there should be a relic in the game. I think I might come up with new shard cards and make videos off of my own takes on shard cards, my own relics and stuff. But there should be like a relic or something that allows you to hide a shard card for a round, because whenever this one was seen, the defenders wouldn't even place traps on the sites. They'd know you're going to place the bomb right at your spawn, so they just get ready to rush you. And sometimes they could even get to your spawn before it's fully placed and shoot you. Most of the time not really, but like they're like a second away. Once it's planted, they're like right there at your spawn. So it wasn't the best. It's fun. You got to put a lot of points into it, and it basically makes you instantly a defender on the attacker side because you're defending the bomb right after. I made it work out a lot of the time, so because the defenders would just have to push you and you can get easy headshots. They'd rush pretty quickly. You can set traps all over the bomb right at the beginning of the round. It was pretty good. I'm gonna say though it was an A tier, not an S tier, because it's just obvious right when you have it that you're gonna plant at the spawn, the defenders are gonna rush you. But I will say this is really good for countering certain ones. If you see that the enemy team has site deletion, which allows them to delete a site, or relocation, you know they're going to move the sites somewhere else, you grab this one and they don't even have those shard cards anymore. You just place the bomb at your spawn. And that happened quite a bit actually. Even happened to my own team once. We got relocation and we didn't pay attention that they had freestyle placement. They got freestyle placement and then we just wasted 5 shard points. Extra converter. I'm gonna say honestly, this is one. It's S tier because all you really need to do is put 1 point into it to get an extra converter. With the converters are the bombs, by the way. So this is one that you get on attacker side. But yeah, you really don't need to invest that many points into it. I would hate when my team would invest 5 points into it and get 5 extra converters. So there was 6 converters, which is not even 6 teammates on the map. At least I think there was 6 because I'm pretty sure everyone picked one up, but there was like 1 at the spawn still. That was stupid. But yeah, if just one person puts a point into it and you have 1 bomb to go to each site, 1 person going A with a bomb, 1 person going B with a bomb, you can usually get it planted. Yeah, not one that you need to invest a lot of points into. So it's very easy, just 1 point and you're good. One of the most common callouts in a CS game or a Valorant game is The bomb's down, everyone come over here to defend the bomb. Now that just makes that call out completely wrong because there's a second bomb somewhere. Offense, defense. This one is really nice some of the time. I'm gonna put it at the top of A tier right here. Get out of the way, freestyle placement. You put 4 points into it and you swap to the defender side or to the attacker side, whichever side you were on previously. This one actually came in handy a lot of the time once I won. So you basically play 3 rounds as an attacker or defender, and then you swap sides. A lot of the time, this one would pop up on the 4th round. So after you just played 3 rounds as defense, this would pop up, and then instead of playing it 1 round as attack, you could just swap it and go back to defense. So you could play 4 rounds as defense and then just win the game, which was really nice because a lot of the time, honestly, defense was easier in this game with all the traps, the hollow point girl with the op. It made defense pretty easy. So yeah, if you just win 3 defense rounds and then this pops up, or someone used a relic to save it for the next round, this would actually be really good. And you just get to play 4 defense rounds. Again, if your team likes attacking, you could do the same thing, or you could just swap it up on the team and maybe they invested points into freestyle placement, but you swapped sides, so now you're attack instead of defense, and then you have freestyle placement. It was pretty good. Really like this one, but it really depends on the round because a lot of time I never wanted to switch off of defense onto offense. All right, I'm gonna rank the next 2 together because they are very similar, and I'm gonna put them both in D tier. Fog Phantoms and Fog of War. Fog of War was only 2 points needed to invest into it, so I'm gonna say that's, I guess, a little better, but not really at the same time. They're both a little different. So they both make, I've never seen them both active at the same time either. I don't know if that doubles up the fog. I don't even know if they can pop up at the same time, but re-rolling usually can make certain things pop up that aren't supposed to be there. Also, man, these images, like the really white smoke here or fog, lines up perfectly with this one. It's kind of nice. Both these were awful. I hated them. Whenever my team would vote on them, whenever the enemy would vote on them, change the map into complete fog. Jason Blundell style fog rolling in. Yeah, not a fun one. Not a fun one. And it just makes the best character in the game, in my opinion, Hollow Point, even better because her sniper, she can see you. She can see your outline, like before you can see anything. Because her sniper would like outline you some of the time. I don't even know really how it worked. I forgot at this point, but yeah, she was really good with this. And then she just one-shot you through the fog before you can see anything. There's Reapers in the fog that if they get near you, you're outlined for the enemies. So yeah, it just makes, it's like the most intense fog. Usually when there's like fog in a game, it's not that bad. People like over complain about it, but I'm like, it's really not that bad, guys. In this game, oh, they went foggy. They went so foggy, you can't see 2 feet in front of you. So yeah, not a fan of it. It could make the game interesting though. At least you see it before you pick your weapons, so you can just save that round and buy a shotgun or something. Or again, pick a character like Hollow Point that can basically see through the fog most of the time. But yeah, it just made the game not as fun. If they gotta tone down the fog, maybe. I don't know. Maybe that's the point. It's supposed to be the most ultra mega Silent Hill fog you've ever seen in your life. Not a fun one. Turtle back. I'm just noticed we haven't had any C tier. I might rearrange the list at the end, but because yeah, some of these might go into C tier, but who knows. Turtleback, this one did pop a lot. It's pretty cheap. It completely makes you immune from the back, which is nice, but a lot of time you're not like turned around. The thing about this one, again, if you can pick the characters first and then you pick the shard cards, this would make a lot more sense because it completely counters Zephyr's backstabs. And one time the enemy had this and I was playing Zephyr, I didn't pay attention that they had it before picking him, or actually her. Yeah, she's a girl. But yeah, I went up to backstab people and then I noticed a turtle on the back. I was like, maybe I could still do it. Backstab, no, it just hits the shell of the turtle, completely counters Zephyr. But after that experience, I actually paid attention to shard cards before picking a character, so I never picked Zephyr whenever they had this. But yeah, most of the time, unless there's some like tactic I never knew about where people are like crouch walking backwards towards the enemy and pushing them, I don't think that was a thing. Pretty sure they could see your head still. It wasn't that great. I'm gonna say it's a top of B. Like sometimes I would see a bullet bounce off the side of someone, so it had a bigger hitbox and you couldn't really shoot them from the side sometimes. But yeah, most of the time I just never even like, this did nothing. But again, if they reverse it so you pick characters first and then shard cards, you might see there's a Zephyr on the enemy team and then you'd pick this and completely counter them. That would be sick. As it currently stands, this kind of does not much. Honestly, I'm gonna put it in C tier. Let me rearrange this a little bit. There we go. I moved like 3 things around. There's the list for now. Extra pellets actually made shotguns pretty good. Way better than Dragon's Breath. I'd say it's probably up at the top of C tier. If you're like planning on using a shotgun, if you already use your assault rifles and lost 2 rounds and don't have any assault rifles left on your team, and you got to switch to something else for that 3rd round or whatever, using a shotgun and having extra pellets could be pretty good. I'd say whenever this one popped up, a lot of people would use shotguns and actually win the rounds. So I'd put it right there. Yeah, just extra pellets coming out of your shotguns, extra damage. It made them pretty good. All right, let's talk about Extra Sight. Extra Sight was an attacker one that you'd pick, and it would spawn a C site onto the map. So the defenders would have an extra sight to have to defend. Most of the time when this was picked, people would just go for C. So you'd kind of just lock down C. But obviously in a more competitive setting, that's not what you would do. You just know that the defenders are more split up, and you'd go to one of the 3 sites. I'd say making the defenders have to guard an extra site was pretty good most of the time, and it's cheap as well. So I'd say it's up there. It's about, I'd say about right at the top of B. Top of B. On the other hand, site deletion, you have to put a lot more points into, but I do think it was better a lot of the time. And I'd even say it was at the top of A, maybe even S. Like most of the time this would pop up. Yeah, most of the time this would pop up. You'd get it. I'm just gonna put it right there. Completely counters this one as well. I mean, they could buy as many bombs as they want. They still only have 1 site to go to. The defenders have 1 site to fully lock down. A lot of the time though, I would get site deletion and then they'd get extra sites, so it would just balance the game out back to having an A and B site. So that was funny. But yeah, I think deleting a site is better, and I think that's why you have to invest more shard cards into it, or shard points. Just put all of your team on 1 point and super lock it down with defense characters. Yeah, this was one that would never be re-rolled. It would always be picked. Bulletproof doors. This one was pretty cool as well. It wasn't picked much. And honestly, doors weren't even used that much by other players that I was looking at in the game. I used doors like a lot. I thought they were a sick mechanic in every single map, especially the jungle map, the one where it's like B sites up here, A sites down below. Which, by the way, that's one of my main complaints about the game. Maybe I'm just too used to CS and Valorant, but it seemed like in most cases, those games had like A site always on the left of defenders, B site always on the right, I feel like most of the time. Maybe I'm not thinking about it correctly, but that's how it felt a lot of the time. In this game, it was so random. I would always think B site was like somewhere else, but it would be A site there, especially that jungle map. I don't know why B is above and A is below. Maybe I'm thinking about it wrong. Maybe they're gonna switch the letters. Maybe no one cares. That was my own little nitpick. But anyways, on most maps, it was like just randomly, like why is B over there and A is over here? Or I don't know, it felt weird. Anyways, bulletproof doors. So the doors in this game, you can go up to them and lock them, and the enemies would have to shoot a ton of bullets into them to destroy them and obviously give out their position, or they could silently go up to the door and hack it to open the door back up. But it wasn't that silent. Every time someone would hack the door turns red. So you could just be sitting by the door, and as soon as the door is fully hacked and open, they're still holding out the hacker device, about to draw their weapon, but you're just right there as the door opens in their face and you just shoot them. So doors were a pretty sick mechanic for the defenders. Once the bomb is planted though, the doors blow up, so you can't even relock it as an attacker, which I think needs to be changed because this can't just be a mechanic for the defenders to use. Once you plant the bomb, having the doors there is really nice. Maybe it would be too OP. Maybe they tested it, I guess, and it didn't work out so good. But yeah, bulletproof doors completely removes that whole thing of locking doors on the defender side. Instead, they're just revolving doors, or not revolving, but they just auto open and close when people are nearby. You have to like basically touch the door for it to open, but they're completely bulletproof, so you can't have long sight ranges through the doors. You'd have to have someone go up to the door to let it auto open. This was a pretty cool mechanic to have, and I liked it most of the time that we had it. Even if the enemy had it on defense, sometimes the attackers would benefit off of it, because you can like sneak up to the doors and then they just open right there and you're on site and you can shoot people, because no one would be watching through the doors or anything. Some people would think it's just locked, but it wasn't. I really enjoyed this one, but I don't think it was that impactful or that good. So I'm gonna say at the top of C tier, but I like it. Very interesting. And I just talked about doors for like 2 minutes, so anyways. Love the door mechanics. Blade Master. This would replace your knife with a samurai sword, katana, and allow you to hold right click to just deflect all the bullets that are being shot at you, except for, it said anything above the knees, But I will say I've shot people in the feet with this, and I feel like they were still deflecting my bullets. I don't know what that was, but maybe it depends on your character model. I've deflected a rocket launcher with this as well, so that's cool. I'd say whenever this popped up, it was picked every single time, almost every single time. But as people got better at the game on like the 4th day of the playtest, this almost was like useless. You could still run up to people and like stab them and one-shot them with the katana, which is really cool, deflect all their bullets. But once they learned that they can shoot your feet, and like 99% of the bullets actually do hit your feet and aren't deflected, it got kind of bad. I'd say it's right here. Obviously you have to put your weapon away, and also it gives you the option, which is very strange, but once you get this and then you're in the buy menu for weapons, you can actually just switch back to your knife and not have the katana. I don't know why you would ever do that, because it's just better in every single way. But yeah, you can do that if you want. But yeah, it's just a better knife with a longer range, and you can deflect a bunch of bullets. Most of the time, this would only be countered if the enemy had explosive ammo and they just shoot at your feet or near your feet and kill you. Also, if you double up, if they stab with the katana, then they can't block like a second after. They have to wait like 2 seconds. So the extra teammate can play off your death and shoot the person with the katana. So that was kind of nice. It's not completely OP where you could just instantly stab and go back to blocking. Lifesaver. This one was really insane. It's not like an instant respawn as a zombie. There's another one that lets you respawn with your pistol, which we'll talk about in a second. This one allows you to always go down, or not even down, you're just dead. It's your dead body there, but people can go up to your body and revive you with quite a bit of health as well. I think like half. Sometimes this one would be so good, and sometimes the enemies would just be watching the bodies, still watching their lanes, and not allow you to revive anyone. I'd say as far as revive perks go, this one was the worst. It has so much potential though. It was good in situations. I'm just gonna put it at the top of A for now. But yeah, there was a point where there was like one person left on one team, and then the guy on the enemy team, there was like a 1v1. The guy just went to the other side and just revived all his dead teammates there. I don't know why the other guy that was defending wasn't watching all the dead bodies, but maybe they forgot they had this. But then it was a 5v1, so it really can change the tide. But again, if you're paying attention and you know they have this, most of the time you're gonna watch the bodies, I feel like. Depends on which side you're on, obviously. But yeah, it can go from a 1v1 to a 5v1 in just a few seconds. So it's pretty crazy some of the time. And it's only 4 points to put into it, so it's nice to have. Honestly, it's an S tier. I'm gonna put it above Blade Master, honestly. I would rather have this than a sword. The thing about the zombie one is that, yeah, like you can have this with this. You can die, turn into a zombie, and then once you die as a zombie, someone can go up to your body, revive you, and then maybe this would reactivate. I still think the zombie one's better, just instantly turning into a zombie and getting a second life. You don't have to rely on a teammate being able to get you up, so that's why this one is higher. Death's Embrace. This one is, I don't know. I have a cool clip on it where I deployed Chug Chug as Nitro. You might have seen it in my shorts as well. But basically any amount of damage that goes on to people, even your own team, I'm pretty sure, a Reaper will appear and get ready to slash. It takes like 2 or 3, maybe 4 seconds for the Reaper to slash, but then that whole area, it's like a pretty big circle. Everyone that's standing in that circle dies. Anytime people take damage, a Reaper will appear. So I used Chug Chug, the little tank, to go shoot 1 missile at someone, do 10 damage. A Reaper appeared. They didn't know we had the card, or they forgot or something. And just off of Chug Chug alone, I killed that person with 1 little tap. If any of their teammates were standing in that area and not paying attention, or didn't have anywhere to go, they would have all died as well. But I'm pretty sure this works for your team too, where it's like, if your teammates take damage, a Reaper is gonna appear and kill everyone in the area as well. I know for sure if a Reaper appears behind an enemy and you're in their area, you'll die as well. So I've seen that happen too. It works like through floors a lot of the time as well, so that's pretty crazy. I'd say it's a fun one to use, and you just really gotta be paying attention, and the enemy has to be paying attention. It just puts everyone on their toes, you know, looking out for if any of their teammates are taking damage, make sure there's not a Reaper in the area about to kill everyone. It's fun for sure. Just who knows if this is gonna get your whole team killed or not. Reaper's Scythe. I'm really mad about this one. I never got to play with the Scythe, but I did see gameplay of it, of someone on my team. I voted on this one, I think 2 different times we got it, but one guy would always just rush and grab the Reaper's Scythe from the spawn. Basically, this spawns a scythe in your spawn, someone can pick it up, and it's just a big melee weapon that shoots out like waves of fire. It didn't look very good. It looked like he had to hit people multiple times with it, or missed a lot. I can't really judge this one, So I'm just going to put it in C tier. 3 people have to vote on it and 1 person gets a scythe. You have to trust that they're good with it. It might one hit people, but it was like shooting out flames at a distance, and it didn't look that good, but maybe it is. Maybe it's a super OP single weapon, like an ultimate ability. I'm gonna just put it right there at the top of C. I really can't tell. Let's talk about weapon or life. This one I'm gonna put an S tier above lifesaver, maybe even actually, like, yeah, near the zombie one. Kind of just, it is better than the zombie one. It does cost an extra point. Yeah, weapon or life, are one that wasn't ever voted on by people. I only got to use it 2 times. Every time it would pop up, someone would re-roll it or just say, don't vote on it, don't vote on it. It gives you a full-on extra life. So basically, you die, and then you enter this like stasis for 5 or 6 seconds where you can move really fast, like you're in a different realm, and you can just reposition wherever you want, and then you'll respawn there with 1 health and a pistol. When you get this one, obviously you haven't picked your loadout yet, so I'd recommend if you get it, pick the deagle instead of just spawning back with a classic pistol or a smoke or something. You don't want to do that for sure. Yeah, you just get a second life with 1 health. Most people are going to be aiming for your head anyway, so you'd probably die instantly even if you had 50 health or 75 health, whatever. You can always go for a med kit and go heal. You can, if you're pathogen, you might be able to heal your whole team or yourself. You might have vampire bullets and be able to heal off that. I don't know. But you'd spawn with 1 health and a pistol. But you can still go pick up weapons again, pick up heals, basically get a whole second life if you want. This one's really good. It makes the enemy have to kill 10 people to win the match. So it's pretty crazy. And since you're respawning and able to like go really fast for 6 seconds and you're in a different reality, you can just go die and then spawn behind the enemies or where you know that they're at, rotate sights while you're in a different realm, and you'll know you'll spawn back with a pistol and be able to plant or whatever. It's pretty good. It was really, really good. I just think people thought it did something different because the description's really weird. It's like sacrifice your primary weapon for a respawn or something. So the first time I got it, I didn't even buy a primary weapon because I was like, so if I buy a primary, do I not get to respawn? But no, it turns out that you can still play an entire match with a primary weapon, and as soon as you die, you just spawn back with a pistol, which is cool. So yeah, I don't know why it wasn't voted on much, but everyone on your team gets 2 lives, so it's kind of OP. Battle Frenzy, much like Skill Replenish, is pretty good, except you don't just keep on generating skills over time. So I'd just put it at the top of A tier here. If this one will move, there we go. Basically gives all your skills 1 extra skill point. So instead of just having 2 turrets on Nitro, you can have 3. You'll have, it was really good on Zephyr because one of their most OP abilities was placing that giant field that lets them have permanent invisibility. Now you can place 2 of those. Use 1 on one site, rotate, go use another one on a different site. Just having 1 extra ability in all of your abilities was really, really nice. And can totally throw off the enemy as well because they might think that you're out of abilities, but you actually got an extra one. I feel like it's just such a big buff for your entire team, and it's only 2 points to invest into it. Security check. I actually had a really interesting game with this one. So what this does is you put 2 points into it. All the doors, if an enemy goes near a door, it'll beep. What's interesting about this is I was playing on attacker side, like we finally just switched to attacker side, but we got, where is it? This one that lets you switch sides. So we got the switch sides one. They got security checks so that, because they were thinking they were going to play on defense. And when we swapped sides and we were on the defense now, security check still worked in their favor. So on defense, whenever we were on site, the doors would just be beeping a ton, which is very interesting because this is one that you only get on defense. But yeah, it was going against the defenders, which was kind of crazy. So that's a really rare scenario where that happens. But anyways, whenever this was on, I don't feel like it did much. It allows you to like not watch an entire angle maybe. Yeah, it's just a little alert. Most of the time you have traps on doors anyways to alert you, or some kind of trap character. Or you just lock the door and know when someone's hacking it because the door will turn red. Not too big of an ability here. I'd say the bulletproof doors was way better. And honestly, I'm gonna put it at the top of D tier. Some people might say this is way better than bulletproof doors, but I honestly had a lot more fun. Used the bulletproof doors to my advantage way more than I ever did security check. Eye of the Reaper. I only saw this one once in a match, and they use this one in the tutorial as well, actually. But yeah, it makes it so that once the attackers plant the bomb, they can see everyone through walls that gets near the site. So obviously really good, and you only have to invest 3 points into it because again, you don't even know if you're going to be able to get the plant off. But if you do get the plant off when you have this, you basically win. You basically win. Like, you're gonna see everyone through walls. There's no way that they can fake the defuse if you're hiding somewhere. You'll be able to see them if they're faking it. It's a really good one, and I'd say it's worth putting the points into. I'd say it's right there. But again, only had it ever pop up once, and when it did, it was the enemies using it, and we stopped them from planting because we were so scared of it. But yeah, if they did get that plant off, we would have lost for sure. If you can pair that up with something like plant at your spawn and just be able to see everyone that's rushing you, I mean, that's insane. So yeah, pairs really well with a lot of other shard cards like extra converter and stuff like that. Let's talk about nerfed A site and nerfed B site. I'm putting these at the top of D tier. They weren't voted on that much and obviously are very map dependent. But whenever they were used, like, you can obviously tell when the site was nerfed because the cover would be all different. It'd be like a pretty empty area. It would really actually change the layout a lot of the sites, but I just couldn't tell if who it was really benefiting. I'm pretty sure only attackers can vote on these. The thing is, it's just like, yeah, all the angles are changed, but the angles for the attackers are changed too. It's like the defenders could be benefiting off of you nerfing their sites. They have less cover on the site, but they're harder to infiltrate the site once you get it planted. The cover doesn't like respawn, which would be kind of a cool mechanic if you nerf the sites and once the bomb's planted, all the cover comes back. I still don't know if that would benefit you or not. Yeah, it was just hard to tell who it benefits. I think I'd have to see the sites a lot more when they're nerfed, get used to the angles, the differences. If you really know like which cover's disappearing on which site you're nerfing, I could see attackers being really good at like pushing and checking new angles and stuff. But this one you just need to have a lot of experience with to really see the benefits of. So I'm just gonna put it at the top of D for now. Initial scan, this was a nice one, really cheap as well. Every time it would pop up, you'd usually get it. Just one that you benefit a lot off of. I'd say it's above Blade Master. 10 seconds after the match starts, the entire enemy team gets scanned for 3 seconds. So you could see where all the attackers are, you could see where all the defenders are, see if anyone's rotating, and it's pretty nice. Usually you just wait back, and once you see the scan happen, you'd start peeking people where you know that they're at, or you'd see that like, oh, there's only one person on B site, let's all rotate and go B. If you're attacking. Opposite if you're defending, of course. Lucky bullets. This one is strange because it says like fire an extra bullet in a random direction every time you shoot, but it didn't seem to do that. I was thinking, I don't know how beneficial this would actually be, but I was thinking it would shoot like a bullet out of your side or, you know, your back, like on a compass. It would shoot a bullet north, east, south, or west, depending on where you shot, and it would just come out of you randomly. But I don't know even if that would be useful. But basically what this one actually did is like every time I would shoot a bullet straight at someone, it would shoot one off to the side as well, like in a cone. Just a random bullet would go out there. And I could see this being really good with the sniper, I guess. But it's like, it's all about luck as well. Extra bullets are nice. On an LMG, this could be really good. Or an SMG or whatever. I just didn't see the benefit of it when I was playing, and I had over 24 hours playing the game. But yeah, it's just a luck-based one, and I didn't exactly know what it was doing or if I was benefiting off of it. Most of the time, you're only fighting one person, and you're aiming directly at them, so any bullet that's going anywhere else is kind of useless unless it ricochets 5 times off the walls, which we'll talk about the ricochet one. Yeah, any bullet that was just going somewhere else, missing the person, was just like, okay, why do I have that extra bullet going there in the first place? Unless the whole team is stacked up and you're peeking them and shooting and one lucky bullet goes and hits someone. But yeah, not great, or at least I didn't see the benefits of it. Maybe with a full team of snipers, it could be something. But again, you're aiming your scope directly at someone. That bullet that's going anywhere else is probably not going to hit some random guy. So, and you have to invest 4 points into it. I'm going to say it's C tier, but maybe it was really good. If it was like double tap in COD Zombies and it just actually shot an extra bullet with your bullet and made you do double damage, that'd be pretty cool. But again, that would be super OP. Not that there aren't OP cards in the game, but this one was just so random, I don't know. This with explosive ammo is a different story. That could be really insane. Close Havoc, this is one of the endpoint ones where it's like you put as many shard points into it as you want, up to 5, and it does 10% extra damage up close. Don't know what up close really means, what the range is on that, but I'm pretty sure it was dependent on your gun, because your gun does different damage at different ranges. Whatever the closest range was, your damage would go up. So really good on defense with shotguns and stuff. You just wait at corners, wait at the locked doors, wait for people to push in, and then you just do a big burst of damage to them, depending on how many people voted on it. Obviously not as good as Headshot Master or anything, but yeah, if you want to play close quarters, you can, and it was okay. It did a lot more damage. I'd say it fits somewhere alongside the extra shotgun pellets one, which would probably be like right there. I'd say there is one that's a little better than that, and that is the time to snipe, which is the exact same one but at long ranges. And most of the time in these games, you're playing at longer ranges. Obviously, if you get close havoc, you'd choose to play at a shorter range, but peeking long angles, especially with a sniper and stuff, and hitting the leg shots and getting a ton of extra damage and killing the person in one shot is pretty good. I'm gonna put it at the top of A. If Battle Frenzy will get out of my way, go. Close Havoc, honestly, I'm gonna put it right there. That's nice. Again, the main counter for these ones are just the enemy team standing at longer ranges or closer ranges, depending on which one you get. But having that extra damage, especially with time to snipe, is really nice. And doesn't really change up your whole plan like Close Havoc would, which would make you not want to buy an assault rifle, but instead buy a shotgun or SMG or something. This one was a weird one. Hard Rain. So basically, you would stand in rainy areas. The map would be raining. There'd be small areas that have rain. And if you're standing in a rainy area, you gain a 25% shield, 25 health, basically 25 extra health, which was okay, but you'd have to be standing in the rainy area. I think as soon as you get out of it, the shield wears off. So obviously if you're an attacker, not so great, because if you have to push the site and there's no rain in that area. I don't really exactly know how it worked, if there was like rain in most of the map or not, but definitely just not as good as the one that just gives you 25 extra health on your whole team. This one was just like dependent on if you're standing in areas, and also I think the rain benefited the enemy as well. Pretty sure it changed the entire map, just like Frozen Wasteland, where everyone gets the benefits. So a weird one that you have to put a lot of points into, and I'm just gonna honestly say that I don't ever want this one. I never saw the benefit of it. I'm pretty sure it affects the enemies as well. So if it doesn't do that, maybe it would be up here somewhere, but yeah, I couldn't tell if it does or doesn't. Very weird, situational. You got to be standing in specific areas to get the benefit. I didn't like it. Free for all, a really great one. Basically every time this would pop up, you'd buy it. Only 2 points to put in, and it makes all the weapons on your team free. So if you've been losing a lot of rounds and already lost both your assault rifles and no one on your team has it, you get free for all. Everyone can buy one. Everyone can buy a sniper if you want. Yeah, very nice. I like free for all. I think it might be one of the best ones in the game because I mean it saves your whole team a round. I'm gonna put it right up here actually. Very, very good. Not as good as one of these other ones though, if I could find it. Weapon enhancement. This one you gotta put a lot of points into, but it enhances your weapons. All the weapon, it puts a free weapon in each category. So there's always gonna be a free assault rifle, free sniper, free LMG, shotgun, everything. And it's basically like free for all on steroids. One free weapon in every single category, and they're enhanced. They're pack-a-punched. Extra damage, extra draw time, or less draw time when you're going from sprint to firing or aiming or whatever. Just a really nice one to have, and I'd say it just goes above free for all. It's just a better version of it that costs more. I still have more fun with site deletion and relocation and zombies and stuff because you get an extra life, or you get to just have all defenders on one site. So I'm still gonna put those above just because they're more fun than just getting a free weapon. But yeah, these are still really nice to have. I'm not really supposed to be ranking these on funness, you know? I just think if these pop up, I'd rather pick these than I would ever want to pick like these. Especially if you're on the winning side, these are useless to you. These are absolutely useless if you're winning, so they're situational in that way. But yeah, these can help you come back pretty quickly. Kill streak bonus, you basically do, I think it's 10% extra damage every time you get a kill. Also, I think this is the one where every time you get a kill, it would pop up like this big thing on your screen. I don't know if that was something else popping up on my screen, but if it was this, it was pretty annoying. But yeah, kill streak bonus, 2 people have to put points into it, and every kill you get, you'll do 10% extra damage, which is fine, but I mean, unless you're acing that round, you're not going to be doing too much extra damage, and it's very rare for this actually to benefit you. You're not really going to notice that damage. Most people are like picking off each other and like killing one person and trading pretty evenly. Yeah, this could benefit if you're like the last man standing against 5 people, maybe. But like, again, so situational. You don't know if you're gonna do really well that round or not. Be the ultimate fragger on the team, but yeah. I'm just gonna say it goes somewhere down here. Or even lower. It really never benefits you. Even if you get 2 kills and you're now doing 20% extra damage, you're usually aiming for the head anyways with your assault rifles and stuff. Getting one-shot headshots. It's one of the worst ones for doing extra damage. I never actually paid attention though in the rounds. If your teammate gets a kill, dude, does everyone on the team go up 10% damage? So once your whole team kills 4 people, will you have 40% more damage? Like the whole team will have that. If that's how it works, I could see it definitely being an A tier or S tier, but I'm pretty sure it just worked off of you. So you get a kill and now you do 10% more damage. And in that case, it's down here. But if it did work the opposite way, then maybe I just wasn't paying attention. Take your time is okay to invest a point or two into. It's a defender one, kind of like quick defuse. I'm just going to put it next to it. I do think quick defuse is sometimes better. But yeah, for every point that you put into this on the defender side, the bomb will take 10 extra seconds to go off. So you could make it take an entire extra 50 seconds for the bomb to explode and buy yourself a ton of time. And then you can like pair it up with quick defuse and you have even more time, you know. Actually, a lot of the time, I mean, just investing a point or two into this is much better than getting a quick defuse. So I'm gonna actually put it above it. But yeah, it's not something that you would want to invest 50 extra seconds into to get the bomb back. Just 1 or 2 points saving you 20 seconds of time is pretty nice. But yeah, clear path. This one is an attacker one that you get to get rid of all the doors on the map. And again, the doors were very beneficial for me. I never saw my teammates using them as much as I did. So this was a pretty good one if you were going up against me. But no one ever picked this, and I think it was just highly undervalued. I'm gonna say it goes at the top of C tier, but a lot of people would probably put it down here in D tier or F tier. Yeah, and sometimes, I mean, honestly, on attack, you could use doors to your advantage, sneaking up on the site while a door is locked, and then hacking it if no one's paying attention. Like, the doors could potentially benefit you on attacker side, so getting rid of them might not be the smartest thing. But once defenders really learn how the doors work, and how to use them and where they all are on the map, I think something like Clear Path is going to get a lot better. Ricochet. This one was pretty crazy. I didn't get to use it much. One of the best in the game. I'm putting it right up here. We've all seen the Shroud clip. You can shoot down a hallway as a defender or whatever, even as an attacker, but extra good on defender side. Shoot down a hallway. It bounces up to 3 times. No drop off or anything. The bullet just keeps going and killing a bunch of people. I think Shroud killed like 2 people with 1 sniper bullet. It just bounced down the hallway and killed them. But obviously you don't need to just use a sniper. It gets really confusing as well with all the bounces everywhere. You think you're hearing bullets from your sides and stuff. They probably have to nerf this a little bit and make it so that each bounce makes the bullet drop by 20% damage or 25%, because it's a lot. Or just make it so that the bullets bounce once or twice. 3 times is kind of crazy. It's really OP. Not one that was voted on a lot. I don't know why people didn't like it, but I could see the potential with it. I think anyone can see the potential with a triple bounce, no bullet drop off. And then when you pair this with a shotgun with extra pellets and Dragon's Breath, and then Dragon's Breath is actually good. Long dash actually could get you onto some places that you couldn't get up to before. Basically, you hold down your knife button and you dash forward in this game to do backstabs and stuff. This one gives you dash 100% extra room. So you move pretty far with your dash, but I feel like it just wasn't that great. It's cool, it's fun. You can look up in the air and dash up, and that's cool. Then you're very inaccurate as you're falling. But yeah, for rotating and stuff, you would use this. But yeah, pretty situational. I'd say probably the C tier right there. Security check is honestly better. Fog is just annoying. That's why I just hate fog. Fog should go down here actually, but you could benefit off of it. The long dash, I just never really used, never really cared about. It's something that's always re-rolled, and yeah, no one cares about going double the distance with your knife dash. And I feel like in this game, more than any other tactical shooter, hero shooter, whatever, taking out your knife to rotate was riskier than just holding out a weapon. I don't know if it was the swap times or just like the knife didn't feel like it gave you that much of a boost. It really didn't. Or that this game, unlike all other tech shooters, actually has a sprint option. But yeah, taking out your knife in any situation just didn't feel that good unless you were playing like Zephyr, obviously. Taking out their ability knife, which doesn't have the dash mechanic on it. So yeah, this doesn't even benefit like Zephyr or anything. I'd just put it down here. Health Club, really good. Could be countered by if the enemy has like Headshot Master or extra damaging things. But this is one that you would always get. 25 extra health on every teammate. I'm going to put it right there. That is a good one. Maximum overhealth is just like that. Like you have 25 extra health, kind of. You can overheal to an extra 25 health. So you can go grab pickups. If you have a pathogen on your team, it was never coordinated like this, but if we ever got this one to have an extra 25 health, pathogen would throw. I'd usually play pathogen and throw a heal at the spawn, so all of us could just instantly get the 25 extra health and basically have health club. But no one ever really like stood in it. They just didn't care, or they didn't know that they didn't know what this was doing. I don't know. But yeah, you gotta waste the health packs on the map or play pathogen for this to actually benefit you, or have some kind of life steal ability. It was good, just not everyone actually could benefit off of it, sadly. So I'd say it's about right here. And this completely counters it. But again, this is just as situational as that. Vampire bullets. This was one that was always really nice to have. I feel like I have too many S tiers here. And maybe I'll move some down to A tier. There's just a lot of really good skills in the game, honestly. So I'm going to put vampire bullets at the top of A tier here. Depends on how many people put points into it, but it's every point that's put into it is 10% extra of the amount of damage you do. You get that amount of health back. So you could have up to 50% of the damage you deal come back to you as health. Now, that was always really nice to have. Now, skill vampire was just like that, except every time you use a skill, you'd get health. So I think that's even better in most cases, because you can heal without having an enemy directly in front of you. You don't have to win a gunfight to heal. You could have just lost a gunfight and you can go use your skills to go heal somewhere else. And this was only 2 points you had to put into it. And I'm pretty sure it was just beneficial off of every skill, but I could be wrong about that. And this could only work with damaging skills, like the amount of damage you deal with a skill, like Chug Chug, or the big flame Molotov that Corona has. It might have only been off of damage, but I'm pretty sure it's just every time you use a skill, you would heal. If it's not every time you would use a skill and you'd have to use damaging ones, there's not a lot of characters that just have like damaging ones, then that would probably drop it down to B or C tier. But I'm pretty sure it was just every skill. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. Mass Cheetah was kind of insane. It was one that was always voted on by people. I'd say it fits in like right here. Gives your entire team 20% extra movement speed. Now, that could really mess up your own team. A lot of the time I saw people having trouble aiming because they would just suddenly be moving at 20% extra speed, and it's a lot harder to aim while doing that. But it's also a lot harder for the enemy to aim at you. So if you all pair up with SMGs or shotguns with this, it's pretty good. But yeah, really good for attackers. Great for rotating on defense. Overall, just having extra movement speed was pretty good. Superfly, this one allows you to double jump, which was good like 1 or 2 times when I used a shotgun, or when I was playing the rocket launcher guy. Double jump and then rocket someone over cover. That was kind of crazy. Other than that, you can't really use this to your benefit ever. There's not really a time where you'd want to jump in one of these games because your aim gets really bad. Going invisible and double jumping was kind of cool as Zephyr, but yeah, not something that you get a lot of benefit off of. And I'd say it was being a legendary card that's super rare to get. It was one of the least voted on ones ever. I think I only saw it twice. Saw it used twice. I saw it a lot pop up. People would just re-roll it. Yeah, I would like never want this one. At least it benefits your team and doesn't benefit the enemies like these ones. But yeah, I'd put it at the top of F tier. If we ever did get it, I'd probably use a shotgun and be a little crazy. Chain reaction. So this one was weird because I never saw the benefits of it either. In the trailer, it's super cool because you see a character get sniped and then it lightnings to all these other characters. It's a CG trailer though, it's not actual gameplay. And they all just die by the lightning. So that's cool. I don't know if it actually does that. I don't know if it actually does the same amount of damage as your bullet did to everyone that's getting chain lightninged. If it does, that makes it a lot better because you could snipe one person and kill the entire team with a chain reaction, but I don't think that's what it actually does. I think it just does a little bit of damage to other people in the area with the lightning, because the description of it is just bullets generate chain lightning. Like, I don't think it's the same amount of bullet damage that hits everybody. If it was like that, this would be S tier. If it isn't, which I never actually got to see because no one really groups up in a game like this. Like on defense, this is pretty okay because attackers all push together, but on attack, everyone's split up between sites. You're gonna rush a site. You're not gonna see the benefit of this that much. I'd say this was voted on less than the fog ones, and I never saw the benefit of it. But again, this could, like, potentially, if it really does do the same amount of damage as a sniper shot done to somebody, and it changes to everybody else, that could make it like an S tier thing, but never witnessed that. I would rather have security check than chain lightning though. No one groups up in a game like this. Either make the lightning spread more, make it do more damage, I don't know. Maybe when a player dies, make it a thunderstorm area where lightning will strike other people. I don't know. Explosive bullet seems cool, and it was in certain situations, again, really good for taking out sword people with Blade Master, and people would vote on this a lot, but the thing is, most of the time, you are aiming for people's heads in games like this. Again, I keep saying that. You're not going to be aiming at their feet or at the floor to shoot them. You see most of the benefits of this with like an LMG or a shotgun, if you're really not going to be aiming for the head and just spraying down a place. But yeah, you're really not going to see the benefit of this that much unless you're really trying to aim for the floor. Or you know someone's corner peeking constantly and you just shoot the corner. You just shoot the floor near the corner and hit them. That could be nice. Probably rather have it than the shotgun one, because this will force you to use a shotgun. This you can use on everything. I'd put it right there. Well, no, I'd put it above Clear Path. I'd rather have this than Clear Path. But again, I don't know if I'm going to benefit off of it because I'm going to be aiming for people in the head. Not going to be like, unless they're standing up against a wall. Most of the time they're peeking from like halfway between a wall. Just didn't get much use out of explosive bullets. Healing shot, this is the fun one. I'd say it's better than vampire bullets, honestly, because you don't have to be seeing an enemy to lifesteal off of them. But instead, this one just allows your team to shoot each other and get a bunch of health back. Now, I'm wondering if with this one, if you have 5 or 4 teammates with LMGs and one person peeking and your whole team just mercy healing them, basically like an Overwatch, just all LMGing into one teammate, can they just survive like anything? Probably not an op shot, right? But most of the time, you'd just be able to like survive everything. So that would be interesting to see in like a competitive setting or something. But yeah, a really cool one. Whenever you have downtime and there's no enemies around and you have injured teammates near you, just shoot them, get all your health back. Very, very good. But a solo player can't benefit off this unless you have explosive ammo with this. Maybe you can shoot yourself. I don't know. Or ricochet. That would be kind of cool. But I'm just putting it below skill vampire because this allows you to heal yourself even if you're just one player left. Quick start was pretty okay as well, mostly good on attack side to rush a site. You get a faster movement speed for 5 seconds after the round starts. Now the thing about that is I don't actually know how fast the movement speed was. I don't know if it was like mass cheetah 20% or even more, 50% extra speed. It felt really fast whenever it would happen. And it's only 2 points to go into it, but you got to be pretty coordinated to actually get use out of that. I feel like it's really used for just rushing or getting to certain angles before the enemy gets to the angles. So pretty good in that aspect. Sometimes someone would just be AFK and not use it. I say there's really no downside to voting into it because it's only 2 points right up here. I think I'd rather have it than most of these other things below. Quick support. This is insane. It let you teleport to teammates even if they're dead. Lets you teleport to their dead bodies, which again, that can pair up really well with the lifesaver, just teleporting to all your dead teammates and reviving them. You basically just look through walls, hold F or whatever, and channel teleport for 1 second, and you'll just be at that location. Really insane at helping rotate from site to site, teleport all across the map. No one will know where you're at. You don't really make a sound, I don't think, when you teleport either. But yeah, I really enjoyed this one. I think I liked having it more than a lot of these other ones here, so I'm gonna put it right there. Those kind of match up. That's kind of nice. Dang, there's so many. 73 shard cards, man. It's hard to rank them all, but I feel like there's a lot of really good ones. Blade Master, I'm like hesitant on if it should be here or should be an A tier, but whatever. Lots of people really enjoyed that. It'll probably just get worse over time, honestly, because people will just start aiming for the feet. But so far in the playtest, I got a lot of kills with this. No one knew what this did in most matches that it was played in. Death's Soul Karen. I think that's how you say it, but basically everyone that died on your team would drop a soul behind. And if you go and pick up that soul, you become that character. So you're playing Zephyr, your Nitro dies, you go pick up their soul, and you become Nitro. Also, I'm pretty sure it gave you all your health back. I wasn't fully paying attention, but I'm pretty sure I was injured most of the time when I use this, and I would get full health and all their skills as well. So it was pretty cool. Just you'd have to go find a dead teammate's body and hope the enemy isn't there when you do it. I think I'm gonna put it right here. Not everyone's gonna use it. You gotta invest 3 points into it. Most people want to play the character that they're playing as, but yeah, if it really does give you all your health back and stuff, which I'm pretty sure it did, I'd say it's pretty good. It's just a full-on heal. You get all the new skills. I enjoyed it whenever I would turn into someone. HUD Remix. I've never had this used on me. I've had my team vote on it many times and never used it because I just didn't get low on health. But yeah, you can, I'm pretty sure, just press a button and it'll rip off a random enemy or maybe just a certain enemy, rip off their health bar and bring it onto your side. So you might have like 10 HP. Press the button, rip off someone else's health bar and get max health and give them your HUD, which gives them 10 HP. So it seems pretty good, but I never got to use it, so I'm a little scared to rank it. And I'm hoping it's not just like you have to look at the enemy and then you can rip off their health bar, because obviously that'll never happen. So that would be really bad. But if it does work that way, it's automatic down here. Worst thing in the game. Pretty sure though, you could be anywhere on the map and just press the button and it'll swap it with someone else. So I'm gonna say that's an even better healing perk than the skill vampire one. I'm gonna put it at the top of A tier. Psychic Link was okay. I'm gonna throw it in maybe right above Clone Tech. You gotta put 4 points into it. You can press a button at any time. You could do this once per match and look into the view of an enemy. I'm pretty sure you saw them in third person too, which was interesting. Did you? I actually don't remember, but I did do this quite a few times and it actually benefited me a lot. I did it on defense once when I was guarding B site, pressed it, saw that every enemy, because I was looking through someone's view, luckily I was seeing like behind the whole team, but I saw that everyone was stacked up on A. So they were about to all just rush A, and I quickly rotated before the round started. So yeah, you can do this before the round starts and just see where they're all stacking up. They can't tell that you're looking through their vision either, so they can't like bait it out. But yeah, you can save it until there's like one enemy left or something and just find them on the map by pressing the button. So some teammates saving this, some people looking through other players' eyes at the beginning. It can be pretty beneficial. I'd say it's better than this one as well. Cloaking Plant. Very fun one. I actually enjoyed this a lot. It obscures vision on the map just like the fog does, but it's just with plants, so crouching, you gotta crouch in the grass and stuff. It also places these cloaking like blue plants on the map where you just sit in them and you're invisible. And I benefited off that a lot. No one just goes around shooting all the blue plants that are around the map because they think someone's crouching in them. They just walk right past them, you just instantly kill them. It was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed cloaking plants, and I don't think people ever used the plants to their benefit. Mostly you'd use them on defense by sitting inside them, or you'd use them after planting the bomb on attack. Just sit inside the plant, people are pushing up, they have no idea you're there. But yeah, even if you're not using the plants, a lot of people were using the grass to their advantage. It was just a very fun one to use that changed up the map a lot, and only was 2 points to invest into. But yeah, if you're actually benefiting off those plants, the cloaking ones, you can have a lot of fun with this. So I'm gonna put it right up here because obviously the enemy can benefit off of it as well, so it's not the best thing in the game like some of these other ones that just are for your team alone. But yeah, I'd say as far as like gameplay map changing effects, this was the most fun. Swift Resolution here and Endless Battle, I'm just gonna put them like that. Swift Resolution costs a little more, but I still think it's better just because on defense having minus 30 seconds is more beneficial than plus 30 on attack. It's weird in that way. I don't know why it's balanced like that, but I just think it is true. It is true. This is a better one. 30 extra seconds to take your time versus being down 30 seconds is pretty different. But yeah, they kind of just line up with all these that just are time savers or time enhancers, you know, like quick diffuse and take your time. Basically, this is the defense one. It makes the match timer 30 seconds less. This is one that you can get on attack. Gives you 30 extra seconds to go get the plant off or whatever. That's it for those ones. They're pretty simple. Also, the game had a mechanic where you'd never see the two opposite things pop up, so you would never see these both pop up, but you could actually re-roll something and it could turn into one of these and make both of them pop up. So bounce mushrooms, this one was stupid. Didn't really work that well. I didn't really see a benefit of it. I'd rather have like Superfly for my team having a double jump. I'd rather have the sliding one too. This was on, I think this was only available on one map. I only saw it on one map. But yeah, bounce mushrooms, man. Basically, mushrooms would pop up around the map. You could go up to them and jump on them, and they'd make you go flying down a lane. Like one would be mid, you just jump on it as an attacker, go flying down mid, and you're on the other side. But you'd be like through the air and be very inaccurate while you're doing it. I'm pretty sure it'd make a boing sound, so people knew you were on a mushroom. Not the best. If it allowed you to shoot the mushroom and your bullets bounce down the lane and could hit people or something, or you can throw nades at it and bounce them, maybe you can. Never actually checked that, but even then they wouldn't be very beneficial. Bounce mushrooms were pretty boring. Sounds like something that would be cool. It's not. Community healthcare. This one was actually used quite a bit and was very nice to have, but you'd have to have teammates near you. So once you're near a teammate, you'll start both regenning HP, which is pretty cool. I don't know if you regen faster depending on if you have more people around you or not. But yeah, just at least having one person near you would allow you to regen. And I'd say it'd go right over here, right next to the skill one. Again, you can use skills by yourself. You don't need anyone around you to actually get more HP while using that. So I'm still putting it above. Same with HUD Remix. But yeah, this was one that was really never bad to have. But what was the best one of all the healing was regenerative therapy or regeneration therapy. Just allowed you to just heal. Your whole team just healed over time, the entire time. And I'd say this was an S tier one for sure. I'm gonna move Blade Master, man. This is gonna get not nerfed, but it's just gonna get worse over time. It's simply gonna get worse over time. I just know it. People are gonna start aiming for your feet. It's not gonna be the best. Already on the third day, it was not very beneficial. So I already see it getting worse. Sorry, Blade Master, you're very cool. Really like it, but yeah, I'd much rather have this over the scan. I'd rather have this over the movement. Not over the revive though. In most cases, if I can trust my team, the revive is pretty good. Well, I'd say it's right there. Healing over time is so insane in this game. Rift expansion, this was much like, okay, when I think of Rift expansion though, if you play Valorant and you think this is like the explosion size of the bomb, it's probably just gonna make the explosion sizes bigger. That's not what it means though. It expands the actual bomb site itself so people can plant on more areas. Only saw it used once or twice and I didn't really notice the area being bigger, but yeah, I'm pretty sure it extends it a fair amount. The sites were already very nice though, like you could plant in tons of really unique locations, especially on the jungle map on B site, the upper site. There's some like corners you can plant behind, which is insane. But yeah, not great. I'd say even like nerfing the sites is just better in general. Maybe you can get some insane angles with Rift expansion and plant in very easy to guard areas. I'll just put it right there. That's where I think it goes. Kill streak bonus, I see it and I just think, ew, I'm not gonna put points into that. I feel like this should be F tier, but I don't know if it worked for the whole team or not, so I'm giving it the benefit of the doubt and just putting it there for now. But yeah, I keep looking at this, I'm like, that does not go there. It goes below, but I don't know. Avenge Me, this was one where it's kind of the opposite of kill streak bonus. So yeah, this one worked for your entire teammates. Like, maybe kill streak bonus is better than I think. I don't know. Avenge Me, this was a better version of this. Depends on how many of your teammates die, obviously. But yeah, as your teammates die, you start doing more and more damage. But it goes up by 10% per dead teammate. So up to the last person standing being 40% more damage. And yeah, it was okay. I'd say it's a bit better than some of these other ones here. I'd say like right there. Just allows for the clutch, the clutch comeback to happen as you're getting closer and closer to a loss. So I like it. This footprint one, like, oh, if this was like Rainbow Six Siege or something and everyone turns into Jackal, that would be insane. But in this game, the footprints, they're just everywhere. And I never really followed them anywhere or like got a big benefit from this. It's weird. Maybe this will be better on certain maps. Whenever this was active, no one was really looking at the floor, and they even have the temperature patterns on the footprints, so you know if there's like hot footprints or cold ones. But most of the time you're like aiming, head height, peeking corners and stuff. You're not really paying too much attention to the floor, or even if you are, there's just not going to be footprints back where you're at, defending or forward attacking. You're going to be looking out for players, not footprints. It didn't come in handy that much. I'd say I'd honestly rather have chain lightning than it, which is weird. Because something like this seems so OP, but I never got the satisfaction of seeing their footprints. I never got any use out of it. But in a game like Rainbow Six, if this was active during a match, I mean, yeah, you're gonna benefit a lot off of this in other games. But in this one, it didn't come in handy. Surprised I saved a lot of these death rattle ones for the end. This one, Holistic Dedison. This one was basically every time you get a kill, you'd get a certain amount of health back. So I'd say Vampire Bullets is still a little better in some situations. If your team put all 5 points into this, it would be 50% extra health, but most of the time it's like 1 or 2 points put in and you get like 20% to 10% health back. Yeah, sometimes this would actually be better than Vampire Bullets because Vampire Bullets would heal based on how much damage you do, I'm pretty sure. This actually heals an amount of health back. So 50% of your max health back is a lot better sometimes than one sniper bullet healing you a little bit of health. So I can't really tell where these go, but it just depends on the weapons you're using and you'd plan accordingly. It depends on how many points you put in as well. But yeah, maybe the kill one is better, but if you're not gonna get that kill, sometimes just getting a little health back after someone peeks and you shoot them a few times is better. Yeah, situational. All these healing ones are all like right next to each other. Plenty of ammo actually is very nice because it's not like you're getting 10% extra ammo in your mag. Every point put into it is an extra 25%, up to a total of, if 5 people put points, obviously 125% extra ammo in each mag. But not just mag size, also your ammo, your reserve. So it would just give you a ton of ammo. But obviously the mag size is the thing that's most important here. So yeah, this was one that would always get a few points put into it. You really didn't ever need the 125% extra mag size, but just like an extra 25 to 50% was really nice to have. I'd say it was voted on, I mean, just as much as these free weapon ones, but in my opinion, it would be a little worse. So yeah, I'm actually just gonna, I feel like these are all like 3 in the same right here. They're all really nice to have. I'm just gonna put it right next to them. I'm really looking at this list as like, how many times are people actually putting points into this, or are these ever getting re-rolled? A lot of the S tier ones just don't get re-rolled. You always see people putting points into these. And again, plenty of ammo you can benefit off of just with 1 point into it. 25% extra ammo in your guns and your mags is really cool, is really beneficial. Now we got these 3 death rattle ones, which the one that got the most use out of for sure was the parting explosion. So for parting explosion, every time one of your teammates died, they'd leave behind a bomb that would go off after like 2 or 3 seconds and just kill everyone that's in that area. Pretty nice. I kind of wish it was on kill the enemy explodes to damage their own team, because then it would stop them from peeking together and pushing. That would be a really cool one to have. But no, it was every time you died, your teammates, that this would go off. But still got a lot of use. At least I'm pretty sure. That might have worked on the enemies actually. I can't remember. It's been like a few days since the playtest. But yeah, pretty sure it was just your team. I think I'm gonna put them all just near Death's Embrace mostly. This one I'm putting right there. You didn't always see benefits off of it, situational, kind of like things around this area. But a lot of time it's not bad to just invest 2 points into it for potential kills. I know I got killed by it a lot. The enemy team would have it and I would kill someone and push up, and then I'd forget that they're about to explode and then I'd just instantly die. These other ones really not as great. I think the flashbang one is the worst one out of all of them, because I'm pretty sure this one was still just a radius. But it might have been an actual flash where if you're just looking in that direction you get flashed, but it never hit me, so I couldn't tell. I don't know if it was a radius or not. If it wasn't a radius, this could actually be pretty good. Maybe the enemies just never used it against me. It might just be a flashbang at any distance. Who knows? But if it is at any distance, it's probably maybe could be better than parting explosion. I'm just gonna put it side by side though, right there. And the vision one was actually really useful, especially in like the fog or if you're hiding in a smoke. Anytime a teammate would die, puts a big reveal area out, but it's not just there for like a second. It doesn't just like detonate and reveal people in the area. It stays for like 10, 20 seconds. I don't actually know. It stays for a while, so it stops people from pushing through unless they want to be revealed through walls. I'd say this one got the most use. So I'm gonna put it above parting explosion. Most people will know to not push into a dead person and get exploded, but this denies complete entry of an area for a few seconds, which is nice. So yeah, that's it. That's all 73 or 74, however many shard cards are in FragPunk currently. I'm sure there's more to be revealed. In the first ever trailer for the game, there was also the upside down one. It like makes the map playable upside down. Don't know how that's gonna work. It's probably gonna work on like 1 or 2 maps. A lot of the maps have a skybox, so I don't know how you would do that playing upside down. But maybe it would actually, you wouldn't be like It would just flip the map so that you're still playing this way, but you have the cover of the ceiling. I don't actually know, but that one seems interesting. It wasn't in the playtest though. These were it. This was all the cards. Best one in the game, most voted on as well. Headshot Master. Worst one, load all your ammo into one LMG mag. Kind of weird. Didn't get much use out of. But yeah, I'd say this is my definitive list for the playtest. Some places could be swapped a little bit. In certain situations, you might want to use this over this. Or so yeah, they're all pretty close to the spot I would put them. Maybe it's not the absolute most perfect list ever. That is it for my FragPunk shard card list. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts on it down below in the comments. Are any of these way out of place? Would you... a lot of people really like Frozen Wasteland. Maybe some people would say it's S tier, but again, the enemy benefits off of it, so it just didn't ever seem that good. It's fun though, for sure. But yeah, let me know if any of these are way out of place for where you'd place them. And yeah, I'm just glad we have mostly like all really good shard cards in the game. Most tier lists about anything would have like the least amount of things in S tier. But surprisingly enough, we got the most things here because there are just a lot of really, really good things in this game. So that is it. I will see you guys in the next FragPunk video very, very soon.